Do you know, years ago, I used to live in the Midlands. I mean, you can probably tell by my accent. It was a place called Sutton Coldfields, and it's sort of the northeast area of Birmingham. And before that, I was in this area called Middleton, and I don't know. You may know actually. There is a golf course nearby called the Belfry, and it's where they had the Ryder Cup in near to a village called Wishaw. So anyway, I'm from the northeast of Birmingham. Isn't it funny how you tend to end up close to where your parents are and what you know? At least that's majority of people do. Sometimes you just want to move to the country. Well, I did something similar. Started off in the Midlands, and about 11 years ago moved out of the Midlands and moved down into Cornwall. A bit of a big step, but we ended up going to a place called Haven first of all, and that was quite cool. It was right on the beach and a little village, not a lot going on there. It was a really nice intro to Cornwall. After that, we got this place, and this is now my hometown. But in fact, it's actually a home city. I was quite surprised to find that this is the most southwesterly city that I live in. It's a place called Truro in Cornwall. It's not massive by any means, and I think the last count, there's some 18,500 people live in and around Truro, and there is a lot of change that's happening. But I'm really lucky because it's a really beautiful city. It's a cathedral city, and it became a city because of the ties back to the mining way back in the day, because it was a stannery town before it's ordained as a city. And the stannery is where they used to collect all of the dues, the taxes, from all of the mining of the tin. And Truro was the epicentre for all of that collection. It got fantastic links, it got sea ports, and because it was so far inland, upriver, it was quite a good defensive position. So it grew and grew and grew into what is now quite a metropolis for the southwest. Not big by any standards, by any other cities. You know, if you're Manchester, you're Birmingham, London, for example, is nothing in comparison to those. It used to feature in a few pub quizzes about being the smallest city, but it's beautiful. Well, the thing I like about Truro is you've got a whole bunch of different parks around here that are really easy to access, and all of them have got ancient woodland trees. They've got some have got bandstands in them. There's one called Malpas Park. Now Malpas is right on the river, and it is the River Truro over there. And Malpas has got a load of different little pathways through, in and around play areas for kids. So if ever you're skateboarding, the tarmac is absolutely awesome, and you can weave in and around the flower borders on these paths, and it's a great place to be. And the council here do make a great effort to try and keep it very picturesque. The gardeners are out in force all the time. And within Truro, we've got access to quite a few things. We're on the main line, which is the rail route, right from the very pointy bit of Penzance all the way through to London Paddington. I use that quite a bit if I'm going into work and I've got to work in London. I'll jump on the train, sometimes take the sleeper overnight. I don't know why they call it the sleeper. They ought to call it the awaker, because it's trying to sleep on a moving train. Well, it's a bit noisy. It's hard, but you can, if you want to, get to London. If you're going in the day, it takes about 4.5 hours, 5 hours, and you can be from Truro in the centre of London. Or you can do that, jump on at night, overnight, sleep, wake up in London, do your stuff, and off you go. But then the town itself is now a market town. So where the old quay used to be, and it's actually called Lemon Quay, it used to be where the docks were, right in the centre of town. But now that is all covered over. The river, the original river, still flows underneath the main street in the centre of town. And it's why when you look at the town, it's such a wide expanse from one side of the shops to the other side of the shops, because actually underneath there, that was a bit of a causeway, and that's where the river flows underneath and then back out to the main, joins up with the main Truro River and then off out to sea. Well, the different thing that you get down here in Cornwall is you do get the odd chain store. You know, there's a few big Sainsbury's and Asda and Tesco and whatnot around, but you do have a lot of independent shops in and around the village and the towns, and it's a different way where you'd go to a big store ordinarily for all your main stuff. Down here, there's still that old school independence for your veg, or there's like little sweet shops, and there's some of the artists have actually grown to the point where they've got their own stores now as well, so they're popping up. So you do find a lot of different kind of shops down here that you wouldn't ordinarily get in larger conurbations. It's kind of quirky and cool and a different way to be. But that's part of the beauty of Cornwall. It's quirky, it's cool, and it's pretty damn beautiful. It makes me feel really quite lucky that this is now my home. I've been here in Truro for 9 or 10 years, and yeah, I feel very settled. I could easily say, hand on heart, definitely would not go back to live in Birmingham after having lived in here for a decade. Did visit Birmingham, I have to say, last year, and going into the city there, I just felt like a tourist in a familiar town. There are things about it that I recognise, but it's changed so much that it's quite clear that I know where my home is, and it's here, not there. So there we go. I thought it might be worthwhile just sharing with you this place that I call home. It's a beautiful city, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a few of the other towns, villages and cities that we've got in and around the area, because there's so many things to see down here. It's well worth a visit. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name's Rich, and this is It's Adventure. Don't forget, click down there on that subscribe button, and if you click the bell, you'll be notified the next time I release a video, and give the thumbs up. A thumbs up really helps the channel out, so do please click on that, and that'll be really helpful. I very much appreciate you for that. So I do hope to see you again very soon. There we go.